far from Earth, far from any peaceful star, there was a region of space no one wanted to name anymore. Once it had been rich, bright systems, trade routes, civilizations that lasted for thousands of years. Now it was broken. Planets burned slowly in silence. Stars were surrounded by wreckage. Entire solar systems were dark, their people either dead or gone. This place was called the war-torn sector. Inside this sector, multiple alien empires were fighting a single enemy. Not for power, not for territory. They were fighting to survive. The enemy had many names. Some called them monsters. Some called them devils. But most called them the Infernal Legion. They looked like living nightmares. Their bodies were shaped for violence. Their minds were shaped for cruelty. They did not fear death. They did not retreat. They enjoyed suffering. Especially when it was slow. When the Infernal Legion attacked a world, they did not destroy it quickly. They surrounded it. They waited. They let fear grow. Then they moved in. Entire fleets had already been destroyed trying to stop them. Fleets that once ruled their regions of space. Fleets that had never known defeat. Now only wreckage remained. Inside a massive battle station hidden between dying stars, a secret meeting was taking place. Representatives from many alien empires sat in a circular chamber. Warriors, admirals, rulers, species that once threatened each other now sat side by side. No one spoke loudly. No one spoke loudly. No one showed pride. They spoke with fear. A large hologram filled the center of the room. It showed star systems marked in red. Every red mark meant a lost world. There were too many. An insect-like commander broke the silence. "We lost 3 more fleets," he said quietly. "No survivors." A reptilian admiral clenched his claws. "They did not even slow down," he replied. "Our strongest weapons did nothing." Another voice followed. Older, deeper, ancient. An ancient alien general stood slowly. His species had ruled wars before humans even existed. His body was scarred from battles older than most civilizations. He looked at the hologram for a long time. Then he asked one simple question. "Is there anyone left? Who can stop them?" No one answered. The chamber fell into complete silence. Not the silence of respect, the silence of hopelessness. Some leaders lowered their eyes. Others stared at the floor. A few closed their eyes as if already accepting the end. Then, from the back of the chamber, a quiet voice spoke. It was a low-ranking officer, young compared to the others. His species was small, often ignored, but he spoke anyway. "There is one option." Heads turned slowly toward him. The ancient general looked down. "Speak," he said. The officer hesitated. His voice shook. "The records mention a species, one that does not fight wars the way we do." Some leaders laughed softly. "Weak ones?" someone asked. The officer swallowed. "They are called humans." The laughter grew louder. "Humans?" The laughter grew louder. "Humans?" A commander mocked. "They barely control their own space. They fight among themselves," another added. "They are divided and emotional." "They are weak in numbers," said a third. "Their fleets are small. They are not even advanced," another laughed. "Average technology at best." The officer remained silent. The ancient general raised a hand. The room quieted. "Show us the records," he said. The hologram shifted. Human space appeared. It was small, too small. Human fleets were listed. They were fewer than most empires. Their ships were not the largest, not the most powerful. Weapon systems, average. Defense systems, average. Everything about them looked ordinary. The council relaxed. Some even smiled. Then the archive system made a sound, a deep, ancient sound. The lights dimmed slightly. The hologram changed on its own. "This file is restricted," a system voice said. "Access granted under extinction-level threat." New images appeared. Not fleets, not weapons. Names, units, operations. Many entries were missing, redacted, sealed. Then one phrase appeared in large symbols, "Special Forces." The laughter stopped. The ancient general leaned forward. "What is this?" he asked. The system responded. "Human special forces are deployed only when total war is declared," it said. "They are not designed to win battles." Confusion spread across the chamber. "Then what are they for?" someone asked. The system paused. "They are designed to end wars." A warning symbol flashed. Another message appeared. If humans deploy their special forces, the war will end. Some leaders looked relieved, others looked uneasy. Then a final line appeared on the screen, not because the demons will lose, the text paused, but because they will beg. The chamber went silent again. But this time it was different. This time the fear was not for the infernal legion, it was for the humans. Far away, unseen by all of them, human space remained quiet. No fleets moved, no weapons charged, but somewhere deep within human command systems, ancient protocols waited, sleeping, patient, and waiting to be called. The council chamber did not relax after the archive finished speaking. If anything, the fear grew deeper. Several alien leaders leaned back in their seats. Others leaned forward, staring at the words still glowing on the screen. Human Special Forces, someone said quietly. The phrase felt wrong. Dangerous. An avian commander broke the silence. If they are so powerful, he asked, why has no one seen them fight? The ancient general turned slowly. His old eyes were sharp. Because, he said, they are not meant to be seen. The hologram changed again. Old war records appeared. Entire conflicts were shown, but something was missing. No great battles, no final victories, only sudden endings, wars that stalked without explanation, enemies that vanished from history, systems that went quiet forever. These records, the general said, are not victories, they are disappearances. The room grew colder. A strategist spoke carefully. Then why does the galaxy not fear humans? The general answered calmly, because humans never brag. The council requested contact. A signal was sent toward human space. No reply came immediately. Hours passed, then days. Some council members grew nervous. They are ignoring us, one said. They think we are weak. No, the ancient general replied. They are deciding. Far away, inside human-controlled space, there was no panic, no speeches, no emergency broadcasts. Human cities continued as normal. Ships followed routine routes. Children went to school. Farmers worked. To an outside observer, humanity looked unaware. But deep beneath the surface, something else was happening. Inside a silent human command facility buried under layers of stone and metal, senior leaders gathered in a small room. No flags, no decorations, just a table. A single screen showed the request from the alien council. The message was simple. We request assistance against the infernal legion. The humans did not celebrate. They did not argue. They did not rush. A gray-haired woman finally spoke. If we answer this, she said, there is no turning back. Another leader nodded. Once they see what we do, he replied, they will never see us the same again. The younger officer asked quietly, do we even have the right? The room went silent. Then an older man spoke. His voice was tired. We asked ourselves that question before, he said. Every time. He pressed a control. A single line appeared on the screen. Special Forces. Status. Dormant. The officer hesitated. Are they ready? He asked. They never stop being ready, the older man replied. Back in the alien council chamber, tension continued to rise. Some leaders argued. We should not involve humans, one shouted. If they are worse than demons, another cut him off. Then what choice do we have? Reports kept arriving. Another fleet lost, another world burned, another species erased. The infernal legion was advancing, slowly, confidently, enjoying the fear spreading ahead of them. Then, without warning, the human signal arrived. The chamber lights dimmed as the message played. It was not dramatic. It was not thematic. It was not threatening. It was short. We hear your request, the human voice said. Calm, flat. Before we proceed, you must answer one question. The chamber held its breath. Are you prepared, the voice continued, to live with the consequences of victory? Confusion spread. A commander responded. Victory is all that matters. There was a pause. Then the human voice returned. That answer is incomplete. Another human appeared on the screen. A man this time. His face was unreadable. We do not fight wars for glory, he said. We fight wars to end them, permanently. The ancient general stepped forward. What do you require? The human looked directly at him. Full authority, he said. No interference. No limits. No questions once it begins. Murmurs spread through the chamber. That is unacceptable, someone protested. The human nodded slightly. Then we declined. The signal cut. Panic erupted. They will abandon us. We angered them. We Wang! The ancient general raised his staff. Silence, he commanded. He turned toward the dark screen. You said one question, he said. Here is mine. The screen came back on. Ask, the human replied. Why? The general asked slowly. Do even demons fear your special forces? The human did not answer immediately. When he did, his voice was quiet. Because demons understand pain, he said. They do not understand restraint. The screen went dark again. Moments later, alarms sounded across the chamber, not attack alarms. Information alerts. Demon forward bases were disappearing, not destroyed, not exploding, gone, communication lost, supply lines silent, commanders unreachable. The Infernal Legion slowed. For the first time in centuries, they hesitated. Deep in human space, one final message was sent. It was not broadcast. It was not announced. It was directed only toward a locked system. Special forces, status, AT-BIF, and somewhere far away, something that even hell feared began to move. The Infernal Legion noticed the change. At first, they did not understand it. Their advance had always been smooth. Fear traveled ahead of them like a signal. Enemy fleets broke apart before real battles even began. But now, something was wrong. Entire forward bases stopped responding. No distress calls, no explosions, just silence. Demon commanders gathered inside a massive war vessel shaped like a jagged blade. The ship was filled with trophies from conquered worlds. This is trickery, one commander growled. The prey hides. Another laughed. Let them hide. We will enjoy finding them. They sent scouts. The scouts never returned. Sensors showed nothing unusual. Space looked empty, too empty. Then one of the Infernal Legion supply convoys vanished. No debris, no weapon signatures. The convoy had simply stopped existing. For the first time, demon commanders felt something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. Meanwhile, the alien alliance watched in disbelief. They expected massive human fleets. They expected loud weapons. They expected fire. Instead, nothing visible happened. A junior alien officer asked, "Are the humans even fighting?" The ancient general answered quietly, "Yes." He pointed at the map. Watch the gaps. The map showed red zones where demon control once existed. Small holes began to appear inside them. Then those holes expanded. Human ships were not attacking the front lines. They were cutting behind them. The special forces did not move as fleets. They moved as shadows. One human strike team entered a demon-controlled system undetected. Their ship did not announce itself. It did not challenge. It slipped between sensor scans like it was part of the background. Inside the ship, human soldiers sat in silence. No shouting, no speeches, just calm breathing and steady focus. Their leader checked a final report. Target confirmed, he said softly. Command structure, psychological value high. They launched, not missiles, not bombs. They launched themselves. Human soldiers boarded the demon command station without alarms. Doors opened before they were touched. Lights failed at the perfect moment. Inside, demons laughed and argued unaware. Then the lights went out. When they returned, everything was different. Demon officers were found alive, bound, disarmed, surrounded by symbols carved into metal walls. Not threats, warnings, messages written in the demon language. You are seen. You are known. You are not in control. No human bodies were left behind. Only silence. Across the war front, fear spread faster than any weapon. Demons whispered to each other. This is not normal prey. They do not scream. They do not celebrate. One demon warlord finally ordered a direct attack. Find them, he roared. Bring me one alive. A human strike team allowed it. They did not run. They waited. The demon elite troops arrived at an abandoned outpost. Sensors detected human presence. Finally, the demons charged in, eager for blood. They never fired a shot. The battle lasted less than 3 minutes. When demon reinforcements arrived, they found their elite warriors alive, sitting. Weapons placed neatly on the floor, eyes wide with fear. One of them whispered only one sentence. They didn't fight us. What do you mean? The commander demanded. They judged us, the warrior replied. The Infernal Legion began to panic. Orders became aggressive. Mistakes increased. The special forces took advantage. They destroyed supply routes. They intercepted private communications. They spread doubt, not lies, truth. Human recordings played across demon channels, not threats. Simple facts. You are surrounded. You are isolated. You cannot win. The alien alliance watched in silence. Some were horrified. Some were relieved. All were afraid. Then came the moment no one expected. A demon warlord demanded a meeting. He wanted to face the humans. The special forces agreed. A single human appeared inside the demon flagship, unarmed, alone. The warlord laughed. "You are brave," he sneered, "or stupid." The human looked around calmly. "This is not bravery," he said. "This is procedure." The warlord growled. "You think fear will save you?" The human shook his head. "No," he replied. "Fear saves you." The demon raised his weapon. Before he could fire, the lights went out. They returned seconds later. The warlord was still alive. His weapon was gone. Every screen around him showed recordings of his bases falling, his troops surrendering, his commanders captured. The human spoke again. "This is the mercy phase," he said quietly. The warlord trembled. "What happens after?" he whispered. The human leaned closer. "You don't want to know." The human vanished. The Infernal Legion began retreating. Not strategically, not with honor. They ran. For the first time in their history, demons fled, and the galaxy realized something terrible. Humans had not come to win the war. They had come to teach fear. The retreat of the Infernal Legion did not look like a retreat. There were no organized lines, no last stands, no proud speeches. Their ships moved away from the front in broken groups. Engines pushed beyond safe limits. Some collided. Others jumped into hyperspace without coordinates. They were running. Across demon space, confusion spread like a sickness. Commanders screamed orders that no one followed. Communication channels filled with overlapping voices. Some begged for instructions. Others demanded permission to destroy entire systems just to slow the humans. No permission came, because command no longer existed. Human special forces did not chase fleeing ships. They did something worse. They let them go. Inside demon territory, small things began to change. Lights failed in command centers for a few seconds at random times. Doors locked and unlocked without warning. Personal communication devices activated on their own. Demons thought it was sabotage. Then they realized it was timing. Every failure happened during arguments. Every blackout happened during moments of doubt. Every system error happened when fear was already present. The humans were not attacking machines. They were attacking minds. In one demon garrison, soldiers gathered around a fire whispering. "They could have killed us," one said. "But they didn't," another replied. "That's what scares me," the first whispered. The Infernal Legion had always believed fear made enemies weak. They never imagined fear could make themselves weak. Human special forces units moved like ghosts. They never stayed long. They left no bodies, only evidence. Evidence that said, "We were here. We are still here." Entire demon battalions surrendered without seeing a single human. They laid down weapons. They destroyed their own armor. They refused orders. Some locked themselves inside bunkers and refused to come out. Demon commanders tried to restore discipline. Public punishments were ordered. Executions, displays of power. But every execution was interrupted. Lights went out. Weapons jammed. Execution platforms collapsed. And on nearby walls, words appeared burned into metal with perfect precision. "You are not in control." The alien alliance watched with growing horror. A young diplomat asked the ancient general, "Why don't the humans finish it?" The general did not answer immediately. When he did, his voice was heavy. "Because," he said, "they are removing the desire to fight." Inside human command space, observers monitored everything. They did not cheer. They did not celebrate. They measured. A human analyst spoke quietly. "Fear levels rising faster than expected." Another replied, "Resistance dropping. Collapse likely within days." A third asked the question no one liked. "When do we end mercy?" Silence followed. Then a calm voice answered, "When they ask." The demons finally did. A wide broadcast was sent across space, not a challenge, not a threat, a request. "This is the Infernal Legion," the message said. "We seek discussion." The message shook the galaxy. Demons did not ask, they took. Human space responded with silence. Hours passed. Then one sentence arrived. You already rejected mercy. The demons panicked. They had misunderstood. They thought mercy meant survival. Humans meant something else. The special forces changed tactics. They began isolating entire regions. Hyperspace routes failed. Navigation data corrupted itself. Ships jumped and arrived days late or not at all. Demons became trapped with their own fear. Inside one isolated system, a demon admiral broke. He ordered his fleet to fire on empty space. "Show them we are not afraid!" he screamed. The humans responded instantly. Not with weapons, with information. Every screen on the admiral's ship activated. They showed recordings of his past, every order, every massacre, every moment he had enjoyed suffering. Then a human voice spoke. "You know what you did," it said. "So do we." The admiral collapsed. His fleet surrendered without a fight. Across demon space, similar scenes played out. Not all demons surrendered. Some resisted. Those units disappeared entirely. No wreckage, no survivors, no records, only empty space where they once existed. The message was clear. Fear saved you. Defiance erased you. The Infernal Legion fractured. Some factions tried to escape beyond known space. Others turned on each other, accusing leaders of weakness. The greatest terror was not the humans. It was the uncertainty. No one knew where the special forces were, or when they would act, or why they chose one target over another. Then something happened that stunned everyone. A demon world went silent. No invasion, no destruction, just silence. When scouts arrived days later, the planet was intact. Cities stood. Lights worked. The population was alive. But every military base was empty. Every weapon gone. Every command center dismantled. At the center of the capital city, a single message stood carved into stone. This world has been spared. The demons understood. The humans were choosing who deserved to continue. Fear spread deeper than ever before, not of death, of judgment. And somewhere in the darkness, even hell itself began to hesitate. The war did not end with a final battle. That was what shocked the galaxy the most. There was no last explosion, no great fleet destroyed on live broadcasts, no dramatic moment of victory. Instead, the war simply stopped. Across demon-controlled space, weapons went silent. Ships powered down. Soldiers waited for orders that never came. The Infernal Legion had lost something more important than fleets. They had lost direction. Inside what remained of their highest command world, demon leaders gathered in a broken hall. The walls were cracked. The lights flickered. They were alive, but they were not proud anymore. A high-ranking demon spoke first. His voice was low. "They did not conquer us," he said. "They dismantled us." Another leader growled. "They never even showed their full strength." "That is the point," the first replied. For the first time, demons understood the truth. Humans were not afraid of them. Humans were disappointed by them. A final transmission arrived. It was not sent to all demons. It was sent only to those still capable of command. A single human appeared on screen. No armor, no weapon, just calm eyes. "This conflict is over," the human said. One demon leader slammed his claws on the floor. "You have not destroyed us." The human nodded. "Correct. Then why do you claim victory?" The human's answer was simple. "Because you will never fight again." The demons laughed weakly. "We will rebuild," one said. "We always do." The human leaned forward slightly. "No," he said. "You won't." He raised a hand. Screens around the chamber activated. They showed reports. Factories shut down. Training worlds abandoned. Young demon warriors refusing service. Old soldiers destroying their own armor. Entire legions dissolving on their own. The human spoke again. "We removed your reason to exist," he said. Silence filled the chamber. Another demon whispered, "What are you?" The human answered honestly, "We are the ones you forced us to become." The Alien Alliance watched the transmission in complete silence. Some leaders were relieved. Others were deeply disturbed. A diplomat asked the ancient general, "Why do humans call them special forces?" The general closed his eyes. "Because," he said, "they are not soldiers." "What are they then?" The general looked at the screen. "They are endings." The demons made their final choice. They surrendered. Not with ceremony. Not with pride. They sent a simple message. We accept all terms. Human command reviewed it. There was no cheering, no celebration, only confirmation. Special forces, a human commander said quietly, stand down. Across demon space, something unseen withdrew, pressure lifted, systems stabilized, fear remained. Years later, the galaxy still spoke of the war in whispers, not because of destruction, but because of what did not happen. Human ships never occupied demon worlds. Humans did not take territory. Humans did not rule. They left. The Infernal Legion still existed. But it was no longer a legion. It was a shadow of itself. Demons avoided conflict zones. They avoided human borders completely. They changed their culture. They rewrote their laws. They taught their young one lesson above all others: never provoke humans. In alien academies, historians struggled to explain it. How did humans win without overwhelming force? The answer was always the same. They understood something we did not. What? That fear is temporary, the scholars said, but meaning lasts. Humans had taken away the demon's meaning, and without it, the war had nowhere to go. In human space, life continued quietly. Children grew up. Cities expanded. No statues were built, no medals displayed. The special forces were never publicly praised. They returned to silence, to shadows, to waiting. A young human officer once asked an old commander, "Why don't we tell the galaxy the truth?" The commander looked at him calmly. "Because fear works best," he said, "when people imagine it themselves." Far away, on a demon world spared by human judgment, an old demon watched the stars. He remembered the war. He remembered the human who had spoken without anger, without hate, without joy. The demon whispered to the empty sky, "They didn't defeat us." He swallowed. "They ended us." And deep in space, unseen and quiet, the name still carried weight. Human special forces. Not because they were brutal, not because they were strong, but because even hell learned one truth too late. Some wars are not won by killing your enemy. Some wars are won by making sure they never want to fight again. The galaxy did not celebrate the end of the war. There were no victory parades, no shared holidays, no songs of triumph. There was only silence. Trade routes slowly reopened. Refugees returned to broken worlds. Governments rebuilt what they could. But something had changed. Something deeper than destroyed fleets or lost systems. Fear had shifted. Before the war, the galaxy feared the Infernal Legion. After the war, the galaxy feared provoking humans. Years passed. The Infernal Legion still existed, but it was no longer feared. Their ships stayed far from borders. Their patrols avoided conflict zones. Their warriors trained less and spoke more. They remembered. On demon worlds, new laws were written. Wars required approval. Cruelty was punished. Unnecessary suffering was forbidden. Older demons resisted at first. "This is weakness," they said. The younger ones answered quietly, "This is survival." Every demon child learned the same history lesson, not about fleets, not about battles, but about a single truth. Humans came without hate. That is why we lost. Near human space, border stations reported strange patterns. Alien ships slowed down before entering. Weapons powered down early. Messages were polite, careful. No one wanted misunderstandings. No one wanted attention. Because everyone knew one thing: human space was quiet, and quiet was dangerous. Inside human territory, life looked ordinary. Markets opened. Ships traveled. People argued about small things. Most humans never knew what had been done in their name. And that was intentional. The special forces did not appear in history books. Their operations were sealed, their names erased. Only one phrase remained in restricted archives, deployed only when all other options have failed. In a distant alien academy, a historian addressed a room full of students. "Why didn't humans rule the galaxy?" one student asked. The historian paused. "Because they never wanted it," he said. "Then why were they so terrifying?" The historian thought carefully. "Because," he replied, "they did not fight for power, they fought for closure." The students did not fully understand. Not yet. On a remote demon world, an old warlord lived alone. His armor was gone, his trophies destroyed. He looked up at the stars every night. He remembered the human voice. Calm, measured, unemotional. That scared him more than screams ever had. "They didn't want revenge," he whispered. "They wanted it to stop." He closed his eyes. And they made sure it did. Far away, deep within human command space, old systems remained active. Not alert, not aggressive, just ready. A young officer once asked a commander, "Will we ever use them again?" The commander looked at the stars through reinforced glass. "I hope not," he said. "What if another threat rises?" The commander answered quietly, "Then we will try every other way first." The officer hesitated. "And if that fails?" The commander did not smile. "Then," he said, "we will remind the galaxy why the word special was never meant as praise. Human special forces were not heroes. They were not monsters. They were a final answer to a final question. And that was why hell learned to stay away. Because demons understood violence. They understood pain. But they did not understand something far worse, restraint. Humans showed them restraint, and then showed them what came after it was removed. In the quiet years that followed, no major wars touched human space. Not because humans threatened anyone, but because everyone remembered what happened when restraint was mistaken for weakness. The galaxy learned a final lesson. When humans stay calm, they are deciding. When humans stay silent, they are measuring. And when humans send their special forces, the war is already over. Humans never claimed to be demons, they simply proved they could end them